What up, baby? It's your boy Baki back with another one. Happy Horror Month, you beautiful bastards. We're going to be reviewing Saw 2. Let's get into it. So Saw 2 is an interesting one for me. It's one of those movies where it feels like they did everything bigger, but it doesn't feel better, you know? They have 8 characters now, and essentially everyone's trapped in a house, while Jigsaw's already been discovered by the detective, and the detective is pushing him because his son Daniel's been lost, and his son Daniel is actually inside of the thing. Now, what I did like about this movie the first time I watched it was the amount of surprises that you get. But upon rewatch and knowing what the Saw movies do, this movie's very tame, in a pretty weird sense. There's a couple kills that are just not really that exciting, and a couple that happen really fast. The first one is the dude who turns the key with the gun to the eye. I remember that taking way longer. That's like instant, bro. They're like, don't do it. He says, don't do it. It's like instantly happens. It's actually crazy how fast it happens. And I think the one with the chick who was like the prostitute or whatever, where she puts her hands up through the thing and she tries to grab it, right? She tries to grab the thing, the antidote. They're all poisoned. She tries to grab the antidote. She pulls the antidote thing out, and then she goes in with her other hand to try to grab. I was like, what are you even doing? Why would you ever do that? And why not just go with the other hand and just open it so you can pull it down? I don't know. There's just a couple traps in there that really didn't seem that smart. And the big like swole dude that ended up becoming like the main villain of the house essentially wasn't really that great an actor. He's got some moments where he's just a little too over the top. He's got some really good moments, like when after he throws the chicken and she gives him the key, and then he runs the key and then he drops it and then he turns it like as it's going, and you just see him like try to like put his hands on it. Like he is like physicality wise, he had it in acting, but everything else, I really didn't enjoy him. I actually didn't enjoy most of his cast, to be honest. Amanda coming back was something that I saw in the theaters. Again, I saw all these movies in every Saw movie I've seen in theaters. Amanda's something that I saw coming in the theaters, but I didn't see it until almost like halfway through the movie. Because the one thing I noticed was like she wasn't getting sick, and if she was, they don't really show it very often. Like Amanda doesn't get sick like everyone else. Everyone else is like fucking coughing up fucking blood constantly. She's like acting like it. Like by the end of the movie, everyone looks damn near dead. You know what I mean? But she doesn't really look that way. And I was wondering that like halfway. I was like, why isn't she like coughing like crazy? And I don't know. Maybe she was, and I missed it in this rewatch. But I felt like I didn't see a lot of that. I do like the fact that they brought her back, but that is where the error in Saw movies start coming in. Is they start pulling things from last movies and then changing the future movies. This is going to become a trope or a trait, if you will, with Saw movies carrying forward. Every single Saw movie will have something from the last movie that has been twisted or manufactured or slightly different to, you know what I mean? And they just keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding and adding until ad nauseum. This movie still holds up pretty well. I think what's better about this movie is it gets going right off the jump. This movie's only an hour and a half. The first movie, I want to say, is close to 2 hours. So, as soon as this movie starts, you get like a little bit of backstory about the detective and his son, and then boom, it's like the next day he's like, have you seen my son? It's been 2 days. And boom, you're already propelled in. He remembers where he thinks he saw Jigsaw, goes to the spot, Jigsaw's waiting for him, and boom, we got the everything already in the mix. So that part So that part I really enjoyed. I actually thought that that was a great dynamic to have, for us to just be thrown into the next Saw thing that he's doing. You know what I mean? And I do like some of the kills, but again, some of them are pretty whack. You got a guy who gets burned alive, right? You got the guy who gets shot with the gun. You got fucking all the needles in the pit. You got the fucking Chinese finger trap for your hands. You got I think that's it. There might have been one more. Let me know if there's one more. But that's mainly most of them. And then, you know, the secret was everybody had the numbers on their back of their neck with a rainbow or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. It felt like it was good, but not great. And a lot of the tension that I felt in the first movie, I didn't really feel in this movie, because the stakes really aren't there, right? The stakes are in this movie, like, he's just running. Everybody's running from the big dude who wants to look at the back of their necks, and he's even telling him, he's like, I don't even want to kill you. I just want to look at the back of your neck.
Open the fucking door! Open the door! There's nowhere to go! All I want is the number to back the head!
It's like, what is going on, bro? What is going on? So I personally, I think that this movie is inferior in almost every single way. It's bigger, but it's worse. And I think that the genius levels don't really come back until Saw 3. From what I remember about Saw 3, which I haven't seen yet, I'm going to watch that tomorrow. What I remember about Saw 3 was that they went the next level with the kind of like doubling down on going back to its roots with information and then changing it, but actually doing it in a pretty proper way. Oh, especially at the end of this movie. This movie got really weird at the end. Like, at the end of the movie, he starts beating the shit out of Jigsaw because he can't figure out, you know, they can't find out where to go or whatever. And he's like, all you do is just sit here and talk to me or whatever. And then they drive him to the spot, and he's like, it's this last house on the left. First off, he says it's the last house on the left. What house got a goddamn storage place like that on the inside? Anyways, when he gets inside, he's like looking around. There's a bunch of dead people. It's dark as shit. He can't see anything. And then somebody in the water, and it's Amanda, and she's like laying in the water like this. I'm like, doesn't this motherfucker have a gun?
Yeah. It.
What the fuck happened? And he did have a gun, but like, I don't get what happened. Where, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't understand that. And I think at the beginning of the third movie, he grabs his gun and there's no bullets in it. And I'm like, when did somebody even have time to take the bullets away? Like, why would he not? If there was a person right there, why wouldn't he have a gun ready just in case? He didn't know who that was. Like, even if he thought it was his son, like, why wouldn't he still have a gun ready just in case? You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought that the whole last act of this movie became kind of a shit show and a disaster. But I was still there for it, though. You know, it wasn't like it was a bad disaster where I didn't want to watch anymore. It was just like these are kind of weird choices. I don't know if I would have taken these choices. You know what I mean? But besides that, we get to really see Tobin Bell do some acting in this one, which I really love too. With him and the detective. See, I loved all the slow talk that they had, but it was also quick, man, because the movie's only an hour and a half. But I do love the dialogue that they have together, and I do love some of the questions that he asked the detective. I think that, you know, he was really trying to save him in a weird way. As crazy as it sounds, you can kind of tell.
You savor everything, be it a glass of water or a walk in the park.
The clock is ticking, John.
But most people have the luxury of not knowing when that clock's gonna go off. And the irony of it is that keeps them from really living their life. It keeps them sleepwalking.
Let's see, what else did I really like about this movie? That was about it. You know what else I hated is at the end of the movie they did like a bunch of flashbacks of the movie. I swear to God, like they did a whole flashback of the movie we just saw, and I was like, we just saw all this though. Like, why are they flashbacking things we already saw? I don't know. The movie lacked in a lot of major ways, in my opinion, and I think it's inferior to the first Saw movie in almost every single way. Aside from seeing Tobin Bell. Aside from seeing him, when we see Tobin Bell, that's when it's good. When we don't, and it's something else, that's when it's bad. So, all right. With that being said, that's day number 2 down. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great evening, morning, noon, night, whatever it may be for you. We doing Horror Month, baby, where we're gonna be doing reviews for every single day and night, for 30 days. So I hope to see you guys on the next one. We'll be reviewing Saw 3. I'll be checking that one out tomorrow. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe for your boy, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
All I want is the numbers to back the eye!